What's up, everybody? Strap on your barely used story goggles because we're fast approaching one of Overwatch's most popular events, Archives 2020. With Overwatch 2 looming in the distance and many players downright unsure of what to expect from the game's story leading up until then, today I'm going to cover everything we know so far about Archives 2020, its start date, skins, and other content that will and will not be coming with it. This is Master EN Gamer, and let's get into it. Real quick, I want to mention that if you subscribed to my channel previously, make sure that you're still subscribed, as YouTube has been up to their antics again, and it's been causing some people to miss out on videos from channels they still enjoy. Also, if you're new to this channel, then I hope you enjoy the video enough to subscribe and whack that bell for the very first time. But now, on to Archives. As always, let's start with the start date. Unlike many other Overwatch events, Archives, contrary to popular belief, isn't based on real-world holidays or events. But we can still make a fairly accurate estimate about when it'll be starting based on the Archives events from years past. Looking at past dates, the event started on April 11th in 2017, April 10th in 2018, and April 16th in 2019. Each of these was a Tuesday during the second full week in April, which should be a pretty good starting point by which to estimate the event's date in 2020. Looking at the calendar, we see that April 14th is the second full week's Tuesday this year, and thus is the most likely date for the 2020 Archives event based on these past trends. However, since things tend to deviate a bit from year to year, I wouldn't rule out the possibility of it shifting just a bit to be either earlier or later. Therefore, I'd say that the safe to expect window of time extends a week before and after the 14th. Also, keep in mind that Overwatch events always start on a Tuesday or Thursday, so these dates here are all fair game, assuming that Blizzard doesn't make any drastic changes to how the event plays out this year. But then again, what if they do make drastic changes? While it goes against the trends we've seen in the past, I have an alternate theory about how the 2020 Archives event is going to play out. Rather than starting in the second full week of April, what if it starts in late March? Now, perhaps you're watching this in late March and laughing at my overly optimistic idiocy, but let me explain why I think it's possible for Blizzard to bump the event forward a bit this year. Archives has historically been an odd event when it comes to its proximity to anniversary. On average, Overwatch events take place every 2 months and are spaced out in this way to reduce the downtime between exciting content releases. But the one exception to this has always been Archives and Anniversary. These two are extremely close, with Anniversary typically starting only a couple weeks after Archives ends. While Anniversary is technically the bigger perpetrator in that it should be starting in June, there's nothing that can really be done about that, seeing as how the event is based specifically on celebrating Overwatch's birthday, and that birthday happens to be on May 24th. But the Archives event? Now that can certainly be adjusted. Normally, pushing the Archives event forward could be problematic in that it would be encroaching on the Lunar New Year event's time slot. But that event actually started much earlier this year than it ever has before due to the natural fluctuations in the date of the real-world Lunar New Year. So, at least for 2020, there's a pretty substantial window open between February and April without any major events. If Blizzard bumps Archives up just a couple weeks, it would help to space out all 3 events more evenly and also be a pleasant surprise for the player base. Additionally, shifting the event forward could create the perfect opportunity to surprise everyone with another form of new content that the community has been literally dying for, and that's a new hero. I made a video just recently talking about what we know regarding Overwatch Hero 32, and in it I mentioned briefly that they could be launching either alongside or in close proximity to Archives 2020. Given the story-based nature of Archives, it'd make for a perfect opportunity to tie in a new hero, especially if that new hero is someone incredibly integral to the story, such as, I don't know, Echo? This wouldn't even be the first time we've seen Blizzard launch a new hero and event in close proximity like this. In 2019, we saw the Summer Games event start a month earlier than usual, and just a week later, Sigma was revealed and hit PTR. From a marketing standpoint, this actually was pretty clever, as merging the new hero and event in this way generated a ton of hype for the game overall. So who's to say that they won't do something similar with Archives and Hero 32? But we do know of one significant change coming to Archives 2020, which has been confirmed by the devs already, and that's that there won't be a new PvE mission added with the event this year. Considering the work they're putting into Overwatch 2, you can't really blame them for not adding a new mission to this year's event, but nevertheless, it is a bit disappointing. The old PvE missions, being Uprising, Retribution, and Storm Rising, will be returning for us to play during the event, but we won't be getting anything else new in regards to game modes. Now, I'd actually go so far as to say that this further supports the idea of Hero 32 releasing alongside the event, as they'll still need something with which to entice the players and base the event's subtitle. While Archives is the general term for this event, each event so far has been specifically named based on its PvE mission. So either this year's Archives event won't have a subtitle, or it'll have to be based on something other than a PvE mission, such as a new hero, or maybe even a comic or short story. Even without a new PvE mission, I do hope that we'll be getting something new story-wise, as at this point, the game desperately needs it more than ever. But moving on to something that's a little easier to set our expectations for, we've got new skins. So let's roll on over to the Overwatch skins chart to see who is most statistically likely to be getting a new skin with this year's Archives event. For those of you who've never seen it before, the hero skins chart may look a bit complicated? Hell, who am I kidding? Even if you've been following it since launch, it's still a monstrosity. So let me deconstruct it. Here we have all the hero skins and events going so far back as the most recent legendary skin for each hero. All skins prior to that are tallied up here. Past that, we have the total number of legendaries, along with the time since their last legendary, number of events for which they've been in game, and finally, a score based on all the previous factors. The higher the score, the more likely they are to get something new. So looking at the score, we see two heroes who stand out as having the highest odds, being Symmetra and Reinhardt. Both have gone quite a long time without a new event legendary skin, and overall have a low number of them. Symmetra is a bit worse off than Rein, but nevertheless they're both prime new skin candidates. After them comes Bastion with a slightly outstanding score, followed by Junkrat, Baptiste, Mercy, and Zenyatta, who all have fairly likely chances compared to the rest of the hero roster. Now keep in mind, these scores are all probabilities based purely on the statistics of each hero. They're good estimates, but do not guarantee who will be getting something new this time. Blizzard has shown countless times in the past that it predominantly comes down to just whatever cool ideas they have at the time, with evenly distributing who gets skins being a lesser priority for them. But regardless of who gets skins this time around, what can we expect when it comes to the amount of new cosmetics we'll be getting? Over the past several events, we've seen a trend of 4 new legendary skins, in addition to 3 new epic skins, which are locked behind a weekly challenge system. So it's likely that we'll see the same trend continue with Archives 2020. Beyond skins, we'll also be getting a total of 3 emotes and highlight intros, the latter of which won't be for Sombra, and a handful of new victory poses. There will be a new spray and player icon for each of the new skins added, for sure a new spray and voice lines for Sigma, given that it's his first Archives event, and some random heroes who aren't Ashe will be getting new voice lines as well. Overall, we have no reason to suspect anything out of the ordinary here, so it should be pretty consistent with the amount of content we've seen in recent past events. Now, an interesting thing to note about Archives and its corresponding skins is the themes we tend to see. Typically, we get skins based on old Overwatch, Blackwatch, or Talon, with the occasional one-off exception here or there. But last year, we actually saw what could only be described as a secret theme among Storm Rising's 3 epic skins. Each of these skins were subtle nods to Monte Carlo, with Junkrat's skin referencing the Monte Carlo Circus, Wrecking Ball's the Casino de Monte Carlo, and Zarya's the Monaco Grand Prix. At the time, the significance of these connections were that Maximilian, who was an integral part of the Storm Rising story mission, operates out of Monte Carlo. But also, as of BlizzCon 2019, we've seen that Monte Carlo will be one of the new maps released with Overwatch 2. So in a way, you could say that these 3 skins teased future content we'll be getting. While it's unclear whether Blizzard will do something similar to this again with Archives 2020, it's certainly worth considering. Even if we don't get so much as a new short story with the event this year, introducing a new subtle skin theme like this could be a really clever way of alluding to a location or character who may be playing a bigger role in the story later. If nothing else, the event could be a great opportunity to flesh out other factions in the world too. Maybe more heroes will get Junker-themed skins, or factions like Vishkar or the Shimada clan could see some further development via new cosmetics. Beyond cosmetics though, I'd normally also talk about event game modes and maps, but given what we already know about there being no new PvE mission this year, it's pretty safe to say that there won't be anything special for either of these two categories. Again, the old PvE modes will be returning, which are pretty popular on their own and are likely to draw back a number of players, but otherwise, probably nothing. So that wraps up everything we know so far and can reasonably speculate when it comes to Overwatch's 2020 Archives event. I'll be updating you all as more information emerges, so be sure to subscribe, whack that bell, follow me on Twitter, and join my Discord server to never miss any of my future Overwatch content. Let me know what hero skins you want to see added by dropping a comment down below. You can now also join my channel as a member to get exclusive perks like the people you see listed here. Just hit the join button to find out more. This is Master Ian Gamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.